Hey everyone, Civic Extraordinaire here, and welcome back to another Let's Play episode, or walkthrough, I guess you could call it, of Humankind, specifically the Lucy OpenDev. Today we are starting out by just taking a quick look at our city. This is definitely something that Humankind does better, and I just thought I'd showcase this, just to show how we've grown over the ages from the ancient to the medieval era. We've progressed so far. We started out as the Olmecs. We went on to the Axumites, and then now here we are at the Franks. And thanks to their Crown Lands bonus, we have grown quite significant. Excuse me, quite significantly. Sorry about that. But you can see we have some walls here, and it has a really nice aesthetic to this city. Unfortunately, Civ 6 does not have the capacity to allow your walls to expand beyond the city. But I thought I'd just point out how the rivers look so much more refined, and how the walls basically thoroughly outline the hexagons. It's just such a nice detail as you go from an urban environment to a more rural and forested environments, just to see the city and how it grows over the ages, especially with wonders and whatnot and your unique buildings dotted throughout the city. It's a really nice feature. So we're picking up from the last episode where we left off when we were waging war against the Mauryans. This should be a fairly peaceful episode, since the last episode was basically entirely dedicated to the war. We've captured their capital of Haojing. I plan to return it to them, but I just want to get some gold back and some retributions, because they were kind of bothering us by harassing our troops. So I think we'll just park our soldiers in Haojing and wait for the inevitable counter-offensive that they probably will raise against us. Okay, and I think we were planning on just set up sentry here, or skip a turn. And then I think in our main city, it's fairly well fortified, especially with all of the districts we have providing defense. So I don't think it should be too much of an issue. But what do we want to do here? I feel like another scriptorium right here could be good. Right here is also not a bad idea, but we do have a ton of science in the capital of San Lorenzo. So I'm not sure if we want to go ahead and build another quarter, or what is it we want to do. Oops, that was the wrong button. I wanted to click on the science here. Okay. A bit conflicted here. I think we'll go ahead and just finish off the infrastructure, build this watchtower for defense, and then probably an aqueduct, just for future stability issues in case we run into any conflicts with the Mauryans when we return their capital to Haojing. I don't know if that will offset stability or whatnot, but it should be interesting. So let's go ahead and see if we can get a harbor here. Alright, we can. Even though we're in a lake, it's not a very significant body of water, we can still profit considerably, and I think that also boosts our Axumite unique building as well. Sorry if I'm sounding a bit boring here. We finished our watery grave expedition as well. But I think we just want to pick up and go on to the early modern era and see what the game has to offer. We're basically building hamlets in Parisius, which is our newest city, our first Frankish and probably our last Frankish city. We have one more administrator though, so I think we may go ahead and found one more city. And actually, while we're here, and since we have the Franks bonus, I think we're going to go ahead and create a city right here. And just go ahead and buy that out. Alright, and as you can see, it automatically assigned our administrator here. And I think we're going to, actually, it's already making use of the bonus here. But I think we want to go ahead and get some kind of farming quarter. Here is a great place to start. We can go ahead and buy that out, give you a great starting off point. And then, what else do we want to build? Should probably clear some ruins, if that's even an option. There we go. Okay, and this is the city of Aurelianus. Alright, doesn't sound very Frankish, but then again, I'm not too much of an expert on Frankish naming conventions, so that's not exactly my area of expertise. Alright, let's put you on sentry and wait for any incoming armies, and then we will keep building more infrastructure here in San Lorenzo. One of the something interesting that the here's our other city of Laventa. Something interesting though that was brought up on the Discord, and I guess I'll bring it to your guys' attention, was that basically, uh, or something interesting I learned was that not the Levantans, the Olmecs, the city we started out in the ancient era. Excuse me, I'm very burping a lot today. I don't know why, but basically the Olmecs, the ancient culture we started off in the late game, and we founded, or the early game, and we founded San Lorenzo and Laventa as. Um, Basically, their language, very little is known about them specifically, even more so about their language, so the devs defaulted to more Spanish names, and some people in the Discord didn't like that, and they did not specifically like the capital, San Lorenzo, which is obviously using a Spanish name, being called San Lorenzo. So there was a bit of a debate in the Discord about that. Personally, I'm not really too concerned about it, because I've never really been impassioned about Olmec studies specifically. Like, I mean, I guess I'm fine with how the... I'll put a recorder here. I'm fine with how the naming conventions are as long as they make sense. And since the Olmecs don't really have too much of a really recorded language, I don't know if we know anything about their language. Other than that, it probably sounded similarly to the Aztecs and the Mayan language. Um, I guess I'm fine with it, but it can be a bit off-putting at times just to hear that. But I guess we're going to go ahead and we could put a fortress right here, just as a choke point for the Mauryans. If they decide to go on ahead, and we'll just put that right there right now, just in case they decide to waltz on over. I think we can also go ahead and... Is this another hamlet? Okay. I think that actually may be worth it. Oops. What am I doing? Alright, here we go. Let's go ahead and drop a hamlet here. Those yields are still pretty good. And I think we want this +1 army slots just to grow our armies. We've had 4 slots per army since the Neolithic era, so it's probably about time that we go ahead and go down the siege tactics tree. Okay, and we will also station you here. Okay, actually, let's go ahead, put you in here, and then you can go ahead and head home. That garrison of 5 horsemen, or whatever the composition is for the army in Haojing, should be enough to fend off the Mauryan attackers. Their army wasn't too impressive when we attacked the city of Pataliputra, but just in case, because I am a bit weary, and I don't know how the AI functions too much in this game, it's probably a good idea just to have some kind of garrison. Alright. Sorry for the barking in the background. I have a very, very noisy dog if you guys haven't been watching the last episodes. And you can hear him right now. I'll try to edit that out. Alright, we have a lot of woodland here, so I think some kind of lumber yard should be a good investment here, as well as probably a fishery thanks to our harbor. Alright. And then what do we have here? We have woodland here as well. So with that in mind, we have some dry grass too, and some prairie, and some stone fields. I think I've already built some stone fields here, but we're kind of running out of space for our pops. So I'm not too sure about this specific situation. Alright, I'm not sure if there's some kind of direct solution to the housing problem we have here, but we can go ahead and host a few festivals and try to see if we have anything to help us out here. We have a lot of science buildings. I don't think we have any direct housing buildings. I think quarters contribute to that. So we should probably build some more, just in that case. Okay. Let's see here. Do we have any production areas? Okay, we have +10 production here, so I think we'll nab that. Go ahead, place that ahead, and we can buy that out. Okay, and I think that is slowly adding to our population. But here's one of the negatives of the Crownlands. You do have increased food, but sometimes that can be so much food that you start running out of housing, and then you start losing stability as a result of that. So that is a bit troublesome. But I think we can go ahead and place a commons quarter there, just for more housing, and to try to stabilize ourselves. We have full stability, but I'm just worried that once we lose our... we won't lose our cultural legacy, but once we leave as the Franks, we're going to have some poor infrastructure. Speaking of which, we can evolve right now, and I think we will do that. Okay, so here we are as the Franks. We have a few options here. As we are very quickly approaching the early modern era, this game goes super, super fast. We have the Mughals here, which I've heard they have a very, very strong industrial bias. I've seen people covering the maps with their mosques, which has been pretty surreal to watch. We have the Haudenosaunee, which we most certainly won't be choosing because of their agrarian bonuses. Also because I heard that their plantation does not work. And they're purely food focused, so that wouldn't be too useful for us. Oops, what did I just do? Okay, I was worried that I randomly selected a culture. We have the Poles. I'm not feeling too militarist, and the Ottomans are also fairly militarist as well. And they are faith-based. We have a ton of faith from our previous culture. Or not previous, the first culture as the Olmecs. So I'm kind of tempted to go with someone like the Edo Japanese. I'm not a big fan of too many of the cultures in the early modern era. Some of the medieval cultures are very interesting and intuitive, like the Kume, but I'm not too sure about some of these cultures right here. Right, the Venetians have a lot of aesthete bonuses, which is interesting, considering they were really merchants, and especially considering their quote. I guess they have some merchant synergy, but I don't think I want to go with them. I could do the Joseon. Okay. Though we have a science bonus as the Franks. I think I'm tied between the Ming and the Edo Japanese. Okay. Alright, we don't have too many commons quarters. I think we're going to go with the Edo Japanese. Right. +2 faith, +5. Okay, and that +1% civics points seems to be fairly useful. And we have a ton of districts. Okay, I think we're going to go with the Edo Japanese here. And we do have a nice little garment here. Fancy samurai robes.
Geography, cartography, algebra, optics, astronomy. It's a time of discovery and exploration. But discoveries are not made solely by traders and adventurers. Those who explore with ships and caravans would go in circles without those who explore with pens and parchment.
Alright, nice to see our quarters upgrading. That's quite actually a drastic transformation. Our walls suddenly became wooden for whatever reason. But it looks like they have a few more outposts, and we've adopted an Eastern style. We still have our Olmec style here, but now we should have access to the TERA shrine, I believe it's called. And we should probably go ahead and make this a city while we can, just to take advantage of the TERA. I think there's also a few areas that we can already make use of the TERA shrine in. So, what can we do here? Right. Okay, I think that Wonder Vinikunka counts as a shrine already, or counts as mountain tiles already. But this area in particular looks very interesting. So I think with that in mind, we're going to do the TERA placement here, even though we're losing a bit of food. We have a lot of food here already. So that's not too much of a concern for me. Let me just take a quick look at it, though. Okay, so we should get +3% civic points, which isn't that much at first, but it should stack up very quickly. So let's go ahead and place that down, and then we can go ahead and put it ahead and buy it out. Alright, looking very lovely. And then, of course, we have our hamlet next. But that 3% civics points should stack once we go ahead and start churning them out. Okay, I don't think a TERA will be too useful here. No, not really. That faith is fairly useless since our what is it? Our Olmec ability has already granted us a ton of faith, or our quarters with the Olmec heads right here. So I guess we could try to build some kind of market quarter here. Okay, fair enough. And then we have a merchant from afar. Okay, apparently we have the pox now, unfortunately. But we're still going to go ahead and start building, or continue building. And now that our troops have arrived here, I think we want to supplement them with the Naginata Samurai once they arrive. But as you can see here, our game timer is ending very, very soon. So we will try to at least quickly speed ahead and get out a few more full episodes. I think we might have one more episode, but I'm not too sure. What are we doing here? Alright, let's put you on sentry, and then we'll see what we can do after that. Alright, we've got heavy infantry, and we already have access to our aesthete ability. So I think I want to see if we can do an influence bomb. Alright, understood. Okay. I don't think we can convert enemy territories here. No. But we already have a ton of influence right here. So I think we want to... Did we already use an influence? I think I may have accidentally used the influence bomb. But as you can see, we are basically dominant on this continent with our influence. We're even dominant over here, which is very interesting. But once we resume or can finish this war with the Mauryans, we should be able to go ahead and influence bomb them again. Alright. Do you have any use here? No, I don't think so. So this hamlet is actually interesting because it used to use a Frankish model, but now, or a European model, but now it is using a Japanese-inspired model. Very nice touch by the developers with that. Okay. We've already really surrounded our mountain, unfortunately, so we can't use a TERA yet. But I think we'll just go ahead and get a food market. See if we can get some Naginata. No, I don't think they're available to us yet. We'll just keep building infrastructure and see what we can get out of that. Okay, do we have Naginata anywhere here? There we go. Let's try to get centralized power, and then I think that awards us with maybe an administrator. Here it is. No. But it does give us a taxation office, which is very nice. That should help boost our, or supplement our dye monopoly that we have here going on. And I think I want to go ahead and attach this to the capital, just because we don't really have the administrator for it. Alright, and then we're going to get the Japanese palace here. Okay, so after that, I think we want to go ahead and build a few TERA here. Okay. Alright. Okay, that is a nice spot. Also a nice spot. But unfortunately, one of the really good locations here is blocked by the... what is it? It's blocked by the iron, so we cannot build a TERA there. But let's go ahead and build something here, a farmer's quarter. Then I think we can go ahead and finish that off there. Okay. Alright, and we have a ton of housing here as well. But that should allow us to build a TERA right here. Okay. Let's go ahead, get a TERA here, even though that is canceling a bit of food, unfortunately. That should still be acceptable, just because of the additional plus 2% civic point gain we're getting from that. Okay, and then I don't think we have any more valid TERA locations. I guess we can build one here, just for the extra influence we're going to get, since I don't really have anything else to build there. And it's just really fun to watch them getting built slowly. Alright. But yes, our city is very quickly coming along. I think my final screenshot will be of the city from the ancient era to the industrial, or maybe some kind of comparison, but we've really quickly uh, grown to encompass a lot of this territory. I think this is definitely the biggest capital in the game. Um, so that is really, really nice just to see that. But we have a new event, the Heresy of Science. I think this is due to our faith outputs. Are we mere animals? Word spreads that natural philosophers are conceiving theories regarding the providence of life itself. To imagine that men and beasts might have shared common ancestors would be an affront to many, and cause a revolution in the way the people view themselves. These theories could undermine the realm's official faith, and, by extension, your authority. What is your position on this matter? Right, so another kind of church and state event, or some kind of schism, like we had with the Great Awakening event. I think it was something along the lines of some kind of Frankish Great Awakening we had with the last events. But anyway, I'll stop my rambling. We have forbid, embrace. I don't even know what the scientific facts doctrine is. Let me just see if I can view it real quick. Okay, I don't think we have the scientific facts doctrine here. Okay, I think we're fairly scientific, so let me just see this event real quick again. If I can exit out of that. Alright, well first, it wants me to build something real quick. Okay, let's just hold a festival there, I guess. Okay, and I think we'll try to be compatible with that. Just not to upset anyone, and then we can enter turn here. Hopefully I was not misreading that. But we've built another TERA, and it's looking very nice with our little valley here. And I think that's all we care about, just how nice our districts look. But I think this is going to be a good industrial spot here. Right? No, it's not going to be. Alright, what do we want to build here then? I think we're going to go ahead and build a... That cancels a lot of food though. This is a very tricky decision. Let's just go ahead and build the tourney fields, and we can come back to that later and meditate on that. But yeah, our city is looking super, super nice here. We should have some... We should be negotiating this fairly soon with the this conflict with the Mauryans. Let me see if we can come to a deal. Alright, we can force surrender, and we can choose a few reparations. Okay, and I don't know if we want to... Okay, we can even make them our vassal as well. So let's go ahead and make them our vassal. We're not going to take their capital. We can let them keep it. They'll be fairly subservient. I think they're behind anyway. And their war desire is completely demolished. Ours is through the roof. So we're going to take their money, make them our bitch, and should be good. Alright. And we've changed some views here. Okay, it looks like he's ascended to the Teutons. So I'm not too sure who that is right there. Okay, I think that's the Celts that are the Teutons now. But we will accept this non-aggression pact here from the Kume. Alright. Yeah, these are the Teutons, though. I don't think their symbol has changed for whatever reason. Okay, and we still have our vassal, the Huns. I don't know if this city has changed hands, but I'll try not to dwell on it too much. And then, of course, we have our city of Aurelianus, which has finished its farmer's quarter, if I'm not too off track here. I think we will try to slowly build over here in this direction. Alright, and we can get some influence here. Okay, so since we bought out that, let's go ahead and try to get a TERA there for the plus 2% civic points. We should be around 10% civic points, which is already a fairly big boost. We're just trying to slowly ramp up our speed with that. And I think we should have some access to the... No, we don't. Okay, once we finish our tech in 2 turns, we should be able to start building Naginata Samurai. But in the meantime, what do we want to do? Alright, just go ahead and build another TERA there for more civic points. Unless you want to do something else. Okay, I don't know if there's any way we can avoid not devouring all of that food. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Let's just build a farmer's quarter there. I'm kind of just buying out everything right now. Um, but yeah. Okay, I guess we can build a TERA there. Just fully connect our city. Okay, and then I guess we'll try to build over to this mountain next. I don't know if we can see the yields there. No, we can't. Okay, go ahead and... Alright, now let's place down this farmer's quarter, and you can see here we can get a TERA. Alright, and everything should be good. You're just swimming in cash, so this shouldn't be too much of a problem. And I think that should count towards civic points, though it is a wonder, so I'm not going to be too objective about it. Alright, let's go ahead, get some fishmongers. A granary should be good, and then a fishery. Alright. Okay, and we fully surrounded this mountain. It's looking very, very nice with our Edo city. So, I think I'm going to call this an episode. I've kind of gone on long enough, and it hasn't been too terribly interesting. But I just want to make everything... I'll try to cut down the episodes and just try to be more fast-paced, since I know the footage can kind of be a bit boring. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode so far, and or the series so far, and if you have been, please let me know. Leave a like, subscribe, that always helps the channel. It helps me know that you guys want to see more content on strategy games, not just Humankind, but more content in general. And as always, thank you guys for watching. This has been Civic Extraordinaire, and I hope to see you guys very, very soon. Alright, peace.